is Lauren, and welcome to this week's story time. So our story time today is going to be all about the different kinds of sports that you can play in the winter. So what kind of sports do you think of when you think of winter sports? Maybe ice skating, hockey, skiing, sledding. Can we think of anything else? Those are probably the main winter sports that we think of, right? So we're going to have a story time today all about those different kinds of sports, read some stories, play some games, and hopefully have a lot of fun. So thanks guys for joining. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our opening song, If You're Ready for a Story. So go ahead and stand up for me. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Clap your hands and stomp your feet. Make your hands feel nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Good job, guys. Okay, so our first winter sports story today is called Little Red Gliding Hood. So it's a take on the Little Red Riding Hood story that you probably already know, but mixed with a little ice skating, which is one of our winter sports. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. It was winter, and the river winding through the enchanted forest was frozen solid. A girl raced down to the river's edge and laced up her skates. Then she swizzled and twizzled across the ice. She did fancy figure eights, lovely loops, and willowy waltz jumps. Her spins were superb. Everyone called her Little Red Gliding Hood. Here's our main character. Little Red's skates were worn in and worn out, no longer snow white and a little too tight. She frowned at the creases and crumples. Soon she wouldn't be able to use them to skate to Grandma's. She went there every Sunday. No more visits with Grandma? Little Red couldn't imagine. She swizzled down the river and saw a flurry of friends gathering beneath a banner. A pair skating competition. The prize, brand new skates. Oh, slippery slush, I've got to win! But Little Red needed a skating partner. The dish danced with the spoon, and Hansel spun Gretel like sugar. Little Red had no one. She asked each of her friends. Little Boy Blue just shivered and quivered. The 7 dwarfs were more interested in passing a puck around. Old MacDonald slipped and fell. E-I-E-I, ouch. Little Red shook her head. None of these partners would do. Maybe Grandma could help find a partner. Little Red whisked off to Grandma's cottage, skating swiftly to avoid the big bad wolf. Over the river and through the woods to Grandmother's house I go. Little Red arrived safely. Oh, slippery slush, she said to Grandma, slumping into a chair. I can't find a partner for the skating competition. How about the gingerbread man? He's very sweet, said Grandma. Oh, but he's much too fast. I can't catch him, said Little Red. I bet Baby Bear would be just right for you, said Grandma. But Goldilocks thought so first. I know who, said Grandma. The 3 little pigs just moved into the brick house next door. You should ask one of them. So Little Red skated to the pig's door. Little pigs, let me in. Someone tapped Little Red on the shoulder. Excuse me, said the big bad wolf. I think that's my line. Eek! The wolf! Little Red sprinted away. Her worn-in, worn-out laces began to unravel. Hey, glide back here, yelled the wolf, giving chase. He swizzled and twizzled across the ice. Little Red pushed on faster, but her boots were lopsided and loose. Stop, yelled the wolf. He steered clear of fallen branches with fancy footwork and sly spins in pursuit of Little Red. Uh-oh, Little Red's skate flew off. Oh, slippery slush! The wolf jumped in front of Little Red and caught her. Little Red shivered with fear. Ow! You're wonderful, the wolf gently put Little Red down. What? You're a super skater, but I was trying to warn you, your laces are untied. Oh, Little Red couldn't believe it. This was the big bad wolf? Happens to me all the time, said the wolf. My skates are older than Rip Van Winkle. Little Red stared at his worn in, worn out pair, and then she had a great idea. The day of the competition, Little Red arrived early. She laced up her worn in, worn out skates, hugged Grandma, and stepped onto the ice. Trumpets blared with a fanfare announcing the official warm-up, but as the competitors swirled and twirled, a dark figure came zooming toward them. A boy cried, "Wolf!" The wolf frightened little Miss Muffet away. She bumped little Jack Horner into the corner. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and Jack and Jill came tumbling after. What a mess! Skaters skidded and spilled all over. The old woman who lived in the shoe had so many children on the ice she didn't know what to do. Little Red got mixed up in the mayhem. "Help!" she cried. The big bad wolf raced over. He lifted Little Red high. "Put Little Red down now," the woodcutter warned, grabbing his axe. "Oh, slippery slush," said Little Red. "He's my partner." The crowd was stunned. It got so quiet you could hear the ice freeze. All the king's horses and all the king's men put the competition together again. Music swelled and the pairs took to the ice. They wore flowing costumes and danced on the ice like the prince and Cinderella at the ball. In fact, the royal couple were in the competition. The tortoise and the hare made a splendid pair. Jack Sprat and his wife did too. Then Little Red Gliding Hood and the big bad wolf swizzled and twizzled across the ice. They did fancy figure eights, lovely loops, and willowy waltz jumps. Their spins were superb. No one could believe the big bad wolf was actually good. That's a performance I'll remember happily ever after, cheered Grandma. Tens from all the judges. The judges whispered, they nodded, they scrawled, they raced a row of perfect tens. Little Red and the big not so bad wolf were named the winners. "Oh my, what big skates you have," said Little Red. The wolf flashed a toothy grin. "All the better to glide you with you, my dear." And that is the end of Little Red Gliding Hood. All right, let's go ahead and do our rocket song. Put your hands together, make your rockets, and zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Good job. Okay, so our first winter sports game that we're going to play today involves what these kids are on. Does anybody know what those are? They are skis. You got it. So our game is called 10 Little Skiers. So let's go ahead, count, make sure we do in fact have 10 little skiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We've got our 10 little skiers. So let's get started. 10 little skiers heading to the hill. One got too nervous and lost their will. So one of them is going to go maybe back to the lodge. So now we've got 9 little skiers, right? 9 little skiers putting on their hats and coats. One came down with sniffles and a sore throat. So he's gonna go home. right? Which leaves us with 8 skiers. You got it. 8 little skiers putting on their skis. One had a little trouble and fell down on their knees. So let's go ahead and take her back. Okay. 7 little skiers hopping on the lift. One jumped off into a big snowdrift. So I'd say maybe if they got stuck in a little snowdrift, they might have some trouble skiing, right? Okay. So now we've got 6 little skiers. You got it. 6 little skiers gliding over the snow. One went inside, the temperature reaching 2 below. So it's a little too cold for her, right? Okay. So now we've got our 5 little skiers on the bottom. 5 little skiers going fast on the slope. One saw the next big hill and swiftly said, "Nope." So she's headed back to the lodge. Okay. 4 little skiers heading back to the chalet. One saw a snowball fight and went off to play. So he's headed off to our snowball fight. Okay. And we've got 3 left, right? 3 little skiers sat by the fire making s'mores. One went off to bed and started to snore. So she's headed off to bed, right? Okay. 2 little skiers sipping hot cocoa from their mugs. One had to go, so they gave goodbye hugs. So how many do we have left? We have 1 skier left. That's right. 1 little skier decided to hit the hay, excited to ski again the very next day. Okay. So she went to bed, so we started with 10 little skiers and 10 of them went away, so now we have 0. That's right. Good job, guys. Next up is the story called Hockey in the Wild. So that's another one of our winter sports. One particularly cold day, the beaver was getting ready for his morning dip in the lake. He checked the wind speed, removed his floaty, did his stretches, put on his bathing suit, and prepared to enter the water. Except the water wasn't water, it was ice. The beaver quickly called his friends to tell them the news. "Lace up, the lake is frozen." "Tell Beaver I'm sleeping." The bear and the moose ran down to the lake and they all jumped on the ice. But they discovered that the ice wasn't quite thick enough to play hockey. Looks like maybe they fell through the ice, huh? There we go. Determined to play the next morning, they returned to the lake, better prepared. But it didn't help. The ice was still too thin. "Pass the puck! Help! I can't feel my legs." Waiting for the lake to freeze seemed impossible. They tried to take their minds off hockey, but it was difficult. They practiced competitive napping. "Bear, you win." Spent countless hours singing karaoke. "My home is where the ice is." Made lots of comfort food and stared at the thermometer waiting for the temperature to drop. One morning after breakfast, the beaver opened the front door to check the weather. It was official. Hockey season had arrived. The beaver went to tell the bear and the moose the news, but after a long off season, they were in no shape to play hockey. He says, "What flavor is that?" They had a lot of work to do. They began with an intense 5-day workout, ate kale for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, showered, and sharpened their skates. Finally fit, confident, and prepared, they headed to the lake. Not wanting to repeat their earlier mistakes, they took all of the necessary precautions. First, the bear threw a giant boulder onto the ice to see if it would crack. Next, the beaver measured the thickness of the ice. Then, as a final test, they sent the moose out onto the frozen lake. "Don't worry, I've got you." And the ice held strong. Satisfied that it was safe to play, the bear and the beaver quickly laced up and joined the moose on the frozen lake. Game on! The bear, the moose, and the beaver played fast and wild. They shot, glided, tripped, flipped, and sometimes crashed. And when everyone was in position and on the attack, you could hear the three friends shout, "He shoots! He scores!" As the sun set and the stars filled the sky, the bear, the moose, and the beaver kept on playing. It seemed like nothing could stop them now, except maybe the spring thaw. But that was a long way off. The end. All right, it is time for our banana song. So go ahead, put your hands above your head, make your bananas, and peel bananas. Peel bananas. Peel bananas. Peel bananas. And chop bananas. Chop bananas. Chop bananas. Chop bananas. And mash bananas. Mash bananas. Mash bananas. Mash bananas. And eat bananas. Eat bananas. Eat bananas. Eat bananas. And what's the last thing we're gonna do? Everybody knows? Go bananas! Good job, guys. All right, so our next game is about hockey. That's right. So they're playing hockey. They've got their ice skates. Okay, they're hockey skates, I guess you'd probably say. And this game is going to be similar to the one we just played, but this one is 5 little hockey players. So let's go ahead and count our hockey players. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Okay, let's go ahead and start our story. 5 little hockey players playing on the ice. One had to sit out because she wasn't playing nice. So there's one that has to sit out for a little bit. 4 little hockey players skating all around. One ended up in a big snow mound. Uh-oh. So that's 2 gone, right? We've got 1, 2, and 3 left. Okay. Let's move them over to the middle here. 3 little hockey players putting on their gear. One headed home because nighttime was near. Okay, so let's take her away. Now we've got how many? 2, you got it. 2 little hockey players lacing up their skates. One took a break to lift some weights. Who's trying to get extra strong for his hockey game? So we've got our 1 little hockey player scoring the final goal. Then he nodded off to bed. The game had taken its toll. So he was too tired and went to bed. And that's the end of our 5 little hockey players game. Good job, guys. And our final story today is called Teach Your Giraffe to Ski. Have you ever seen a giraffe on skis before? I don't know how this is gonna go. All right. Uh-oh, it's snowing and your giraffe wants you to teach her to ski. Offer hot chocolate. Offer to make snow giraffes. Offer Great Spotties, your giraffe is galloping toward the ski slopes without skis. Hurry and catch up. She needs you to teach her how to ski safely. Help your giraffe get her skis on. Toes in first, press down heels, snap. Jumping Spotties, she's headed for the big scary slope. Quick, remind her that everyone learns to ski on the bunny hill. Your giraffe needs to learn how to slow down and stop. Show her how to do a pizza with her skis. That's the trick to slowing down. Sometimes skis get tangly. Time for a break. No, your giraffe isn't ready for a break. She wants to go fast. Show her how to do French fries with her skis. That's the trick to going fast. Yikes! Your giraffe is heading for the big scary slope again. Catch her. Tell her she's ready for the magic carpet that will take her to the tippy top of the bunny hill. The bunny hill is the perfect place to practice. Pretty soon your giraffe can do great French fries. Zoom, she's fast. Super fast. A little too fast. Yell, pizza, pizza, pizza! Oops. Ooh, that looks a little rough, doesn't it? Remind her to apologize to the sloth. Never crash into others, even if they're slow. Time for a break. No, your giraffe isn't ready for a break. She wants to turn. Show your giraffe how to turn. Draw S's in the snow with your skis. Her S's are messy. That's okay. She's learning. She's having fun. She's jumping, swerving, racing up the big scary slope. You have to catch her, even if it means riding the scary ski lift, even if it means getting off on the tippy top of the very big slope, even if it means shooting Spotties. You've seen that grin on your giraffe before. Your giraffe laughs, pushes off, and she's speeding downhill, down that super steep, super long, super scary slope. Stop shaking, open your eyes. Your giraffe needs you. Take a deep breath, push off. Shh, whee! Maybe your giraffe is right. Big hills are fun. Uh-oh, your giraffe is fast, super fast, way too fast. Pizza, pizza, pizza! Swoosh, kaboom. Hug your giraffe to make her feel better. Time for a break? Yes, your giraffe is ready for a break. She's hungry. She has a serious craving for snow-topped trees. You have a craving for pizza. Uh-oh, break time's over. Your giraffe is heading for the freestyle park. Go, go, go! And that's the end of Teach Your Giraffe to Ski. Okay, so this week's story time has come to an end. Thank you again all for checking out our winter sports story time. And I look forward to seeing all of you next week with a brand new story time. But first, let's go ahead and do our closing song before we say our goodbyes, okay? So we're going to do our Tickle the Clouds. Ready? Tickle the clouds, tickle your toes, turn around and tickle your nose. Reach down low, reach up high. Story time's over, so wave goodbye. Bye everyone, and I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you